Hello and welcome. Adita Lang here, and in today's strength class, well, we are working upper body. So you will need some light weights and some medium to heavy weights, also a mat, water close by, take breaks when you need to, and work at a pace that's comfortable to you. But first things first, start by tapping the toe, bending the knees soft, and now add a shoulder roll. And as you're adding the shoulder roll, let's talk posture. Chest is always up, which means that when your shoulders have landed, they are always going to be back and down. At the same time, then your ribs open up a little bit. So I want you to think about pulling and contracting the ribs inward, which now engages your abdominals. And then you have a nice strong center to do everything you want to do. Now let's go big circle with the arms. Using your breath as you're moving and keeping the same rhythm with the legs, basically the arms too, simply move the arms forward. It's as if you're swimming. One arm at a time. And now arms go back up to the sky. Big circle. And work your way back to the shoulder rolls. And reaching the arms forward. Now, the arms are going forward. There's no more circles. So think shoulder blades. They should stay back and down even though you're reaching arms forward. And now arms across the chest. So chest stays up in the air, rib cage stays engaged. You have 4 and 3. Now 2 and 1. Hold over to the left, roll through the foot, up and down. Roll up. Bracing from your center. 1 more. Hold here, lunge forward. Feeling the stretch in your calf. Now turn to the front, toes up, sitting down in the left leg and hinging from the hip. Chest stays up, tailbone back, deep breath, and exhale. And the other side. Roll through the foot, up and down, up. 1 more. Hold the heel down. Stretch forward, deep breath, exhale, turn to the front, toes up, and sit, hinging from the hips, tailbone back, deep breath, exhale, hold, and center, arms all the way up, deep breath, exhale. Now left side into a nice side stretch, reach and pull, reach and pull. So as you pull, I want you to feel your lats. It's as if you're pulling something heavy. The lats engage, and even though the arm goes up, the shoulders are still trying to stay down and back. 1 more. And down. Now the other side. Up and pull down. Pull. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. And back to center. Now arms forward. Reach out and in. Out and in. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. So bring your feet under your hips, arms stay forward, and think shoulder blades. We're going to gear up our shoulders for the rest of the work. Shoulders squeeze back and together. We call this retraction and release. Squeeze and release. Inhale one way, exhale the other. There's a little muscle in between your shoulder blades called the rhomboids, and that little muscle is in charge of keeping us standing tall with the shoulders back naturally. 4 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Release the arms. Guess what? Let's go straight to the floor. It's also a great time to grab some water. You'll need all your weight somewhere close by and the mat on the ground. There we go. Mat goes down. Feet forward, deep breath. And exhale, hinge from the hips again, pulling your toes towards you this time at the same time. Deep breath and exhale and hinge. So your hinge is a bend from the hip. Chest stays up so you keep neutral spine as opposed to leaning down to try to reach. Sit up nice and tall and simply hinge. Maybe you don't bend as far forward as I do, and guess what? That's okay. We each have our own range of motion. Deep breath and exhale. Now cross the foot over the knee into a figure 4 and hinge forward. and slowly rotate to the left and hinge forward and rotate. One more time, hinge and rotate and hinge and hold. And now release, other side. Deep breath, exhale, and now rotate right. And again, hinge, rotate, one more time, hinge. And rotate and hold when we come down. And release. So starting off, we're going to do some push-ups from our knees. Now, if you feel like your knees are a little tender or they just don't like your mat, then let's place a towel, roll up a towel and place it underneath your knees for comfort. Taking your hands outside of the mat and bring your body forward. So the goal here is neutral spine, and it's more or less of a straight line from the tip of the head to the knees. All your body weight should feel like it's in your hands, and your hands line up with your chest. Now bend the elbows to 90 degrees where your elbow is right over the wrist, and then push up from there. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Looking down, keeping the neck in alignment. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, keeping your knees where they're at, let's take the lighter weights. Sitting up nice and tall, two things here. We have a hammer curl and a shoulder press, and then down. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Pulling in from the abdominals. Now here's what I want you to think about. As the weight becomes more challenging, typically unconsciously, we push our abdominals outward. So as the weight becomes more challenging, I want you to have a different mindset and contract inward from the rib cage, which in turn engages your abdominals. We have 5 more. That's 4. And 3. Now 2. And 1. Weights go down. And now hands go out to the side. Once again, push-ups. Pull in the abdominals, engage the rib cage, and lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. You have 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Come back. Reaching for the weights. Sitting up nice and tall. Once again, hammer curl, shoulder press. Thinking about how do I want to say this? I want you to truly concentrate on the muscle. I talk about being intentional. So think about your bicep, then press the shoulders, and then slowly release the bicep. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Pulling in from the rib cage. Four more. And 3. Now 2. And 1. Weights go down. Another set. Let's do one more set. We can do this. One more set. One more set. Pull in from the abdominals and lower and lift. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I threw in a third set. It was like a bonus. Take both hands behind your back, stretch back, chest up. Deep breath and exhale. And release. Now, let's move our weights a little bit further forward and also bring in the heavier ones. Starting from the all fours position. So all fours, the knees are directly under the hips, the hands are directly under the shoulders. And now lift up the left hand and take that medium to heavy weight. So now you have 3 points on the floor and they all have to have the same amount of weight. Hips are parallel to the ground. Now from here, think about squeezing your shoulder blades together and pull up from the elbow. It might feel like the move isn't very large since we have the floor blocking the dumbbell. That's okay. Keep your shoulders parallel to the floor, hips parallel to the floor, and as you lift the dumbbell, think about moving the left shoulder blade towards the right. That squeezes the muscles of the lat and upper back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dumbbell in hand. Now, we're going to reach forward. Chest up tall, shoulders back, reach forward and pull. Inhale and exhale. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weight down. Guess what? We have the other side. Double check your posture first. Make sure your body's all lined up the way it should. And lift, keeping the elbow very tight to the body and feeling the right shoulder blade move towards the left. Pulling in from the rib cage. And keeping a slight bend in the elbow that's supporting you, the left hand. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lighter weight in hand, double check your posture. Hips are parallel to the floor, so are the shoulders. And as the weight becomes heavier, brace in from your center, from your core a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back into child's pose. It's always a nice thing to do. Deep breath and exhale. Now back to all fours. Weight in hand, one more set. Ready? Elbow nice and tight to the body. Your body weight is balanced on all 3 points that are on the floor. And you feel your shoulder blade move towards your other shoulder blade, towards the center of your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to move this weight to the side. We'll need it over here later. Balance your weight, reach forward, and out and in. Pulling in from your center and using your breath as your rhythm of movement. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weight goes down, we have the other side. So balance your weight, small bend in the elbow, and lift. Keeping the elbow tight to the body. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lighter weight in hand, reach forward. Inhale and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weight down. Let's place those weights back a little bit and bring yourself down. I think I'm already sweating. It's okay. Now, into a side plank. So you're on your elbow, and again, you can put a towel underneath your elbow if you really needed to. Line your body up nice and straight from our knees. So we're up here. Chest is up. Now, you're going to feel the bottom ribs wanting to sink. I want you to pull them up, trying to maintain this straight line all the way through. Top hand, the left reaches all the way in. We call this threading a needle. I want to reach as far as I can, and then I lift right back up. Notice my hips don't lower. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Keeping the hips up, pulling in from the ribs, nice and tight. You have 5, and 4, 3, 1. Excellent. Yes, we have the other side. I know you were thinking about it, but I can't leave you lopsided. I have to make sure that we're even. Up. Think about the bottom hip. Lift your hip up so everything is nice and straight. Arm up. Deep breath and exhale and reach. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Using your breath, feeling the rib cage in and tight. You have 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Oh, back down. Okay. We'll go to this end of the mat. Let's move these weights out of the way. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Pressing your hips down so you feel the weight of your body in your hands. And you're pulling in and engaging from the rib cage. So again, it's a nice straight line, just like a push-up. But this time your hands are under the shoulders. So, leading with the left arm, I want you to gently lower yourself to the floor. So down, and now back up. Inhale one way, exhale the other. As you're moving, this is when you want to tighten the ribs and the abdominals the most, yet you're still breathing. Notice how my tailbone is down. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back. Guess what? We have that whole thing one more time. Because we can, because we're strong. We've got this down. So starting on your elbow, up into your side plank, pulling in from the ribs, arm up, deep breath, and exhale, and reach. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Holding the body upright, keeping that nice straight line from the shoulders to the knees. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We have the other side. Again, up, arm up, hold yourself up, and reach. This is the last set. You can do this. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job. So we have to lower our elbows down. Now this time, we started with our left side. This time we're starting with our right. Place yourself first in position. Nice straight line from the tip of the head down. Pulling in from the center, and now right arm leads. And tailbone stays down the entire time to keep that alignment from the knee to the top of the head. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Sit back. Excellent job. Now, let's take weights on either side. And bring yourself sideways. Lie all the way down. Actually, this is a great time to grab more water. And then I'll meet you down here with my knees into the chest. And when you're ready, you can pull your knees into the chest too. Feet to the floor, cross one arm over the chest and hold, keeping the shoulder against the floor. And now the other side. And release. Now taking the heavier weights, shoulders deep into the mat. Palms are facing away, knuckles to the sky, and bending down 90 degrees, and then press up. So think about holding your shoulders back and down to the mat. And when you do this, you'll feel a little bit of an arch in your back. And this is when I want you to pull in from the rib cage a little bit more. And now that little arch is probably still there, but it's a lot stronger. And that gives us the power to push our weights up. Knuckles to the sky so the wrist is nice and straight. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, lower those weights down. Taking our smaller weights, elbows by the side. So same thing, shoulders are back and down, pulling in from the rib cage, knuckles to the sky, weights go up, by the ears for triceps, and then back down. Up and down. Inhale and exhale. Now think intentional. As you extend, the triceps contract. Now the shoulders go. And the triceps. And the shoulders. 3 more. And 2. 1 more. And bring those weights down. Taking our bigger weights one more time for chest press. So double check your shoulders, arms to the side, hands land right over the elbow. Pull in for the rib cage and press with the knuckles up to the sky so the wrist is nice and straight. And see, as the weight feels tougher, that's when I start to really brace my center more. And that helps give me power to push the weight and at the same time keeps my back nice and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weights down. Smaller weights in hand. Elbows by the side, shoulders back, knuckles to the sky, straight up. And now bend the elbows 90 degrees and up. Thinking about your tricep as you extend and then pressing up through the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. We have 4 and 3, 2, and 1. And set those weights down. This time crossing one foot on the knee and reaching inside. Figure 4 stretch. I love this. I know we've been working arms, but our legs always need a little bit of a stretch too. Release the other side. And up. And release. Hands behind the head. Up in a high crunch. So just a few inches off the floor, really. I want you to feel the weight of your head and now feel everything that goes on with your ribs. So right now your ribs are a little open, so squeeze them tight and then release. And squeeze and release. And by you contracting your ribs, that should be what is pulling or lifting the upper body off the ground. Deep breath and exhale. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take the arm across the chest and hold, keeping the shoulder against the floor. And the other side. And release. One more set of those crunches. Hands behind the head. Hover off the ground. Now think rib cage and squeeze the ribs in and out. Full inhale, full exhale. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Rolling to the side. Lifting up from there, we can put these off to the side. And then just sitting up, one arm comes up, reach behind your back, and now reach for the elbow and stretch your tricep. And release, again, up, press the arm back and reach. And the other side. And release, again, up and up, back. Now hands behind the head. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to stretch the neck down, but then on the way up, I want you to use your hands for resistance. So chin comes down, enjoy the stretch. And now resist with your hands as you come up. And again, chin down. And resist. Chin down. Resist. 2 more. Chin down. Resist. 1 more time. Chin down. And resist. Hold here, turning the upper body only to the left. Reaching back with the left elbow. Chest up nice and tall, deep breath, and exhale. Slowly come back to the center and now rotate to the right. Leading with your right elbow. And let's do this 1 more time. Center, left side. And center, right side. And back to the center and release. Interlace your fingers, stretch your hands towards me. And release. Again, stretch. 1 more time. Stretch. Now hold the hands here. They go all the way up. And then let the fingers go and allow the hands to float down. And again, interlace and stretch. Arms up. And they float down. Arms stay down, taking your chin only to the left. And now to the right. Both shoulders are down and back. 1 more. And hold center, ear to shoulder. And using your left arm, reach your left arm up and over into a side stretch. Both hips into the floor, pressing especially the left hip into the floor. And now reach the ear. Stretch, right shoulder goes down. And release, left hip into the floor, left arm up and over. And release, other side. Ear to the shoulder, this time left shoulder down. And release, right arm goes up, right hip goes down. And again. And reach. 1 more time. Oh, I had the sweat coming down. Oh no. We worked hard today. And center, reach across the chest with a little bit of a twist. And let go the other side. And release, both legs go out. About hip distance, deep breath, and exhale, hinge forward. Now utilizing your left hand behind the head, sit up and rotate. Chest up nice and tall. And let's do this 1 more time. Hinge. Left hand behind the head and rotate. And release, other side. Hinge. Right hand behind the head and rotate. And hinge. And rotate. And simply hinge and hold. Pulling the toes towards you. Now both feet together. Nice and tall, deep breath, and exhale, and simply, not necessarily hinge, but just shift your weight forward. And when you shift your weight forward, you'll feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Now your knees may be up here, that's okay. It doesn't really matter where your knees are at. Feet are grounded to the floor. Just shift your weight to the front. Deep breath, and exhale. 1 more time, big deep breath, and exhale. Cross legs or sit any way you want to. And simply just take the ear 1 more time. This time extend the other arm out and away. And release, ear to shoulder, and extend the arm out and away. And release. Now shoulders come up, back and around, big circle. Just like we started. One more. And hold the shoulders straight down. Chest is up, sitting up nice and tall. Thank you so much for joining me in class today. Go out there, make sure you're drinking plenty of water and enjoying the day. Keep